Math is a wonderful thing. Math is a really cool thing.
Type the regression equation. Make sure that you check what is a subscript of your variables. So right now the subscript is x sub 1, y sub 1. So when you type in your regression equation, you have to use the subscript 1. A x sub of 1 squared plus bx, but my x should be sub of 1 plus, alright, so let's go back to exit out from the subscript notation. Click this right arrow and then plus c, and here we go. We will have our values for a, b, and c. Once you have the value of your a, b, and c, you may now write the equation. So the equation is y equals a, which is -4, b is -2, and then c is -4. So this will be the equation. So if you go back to the problem, the correct answer should be option letter C. Alright, for the next question, we are tasked to predict the value of y when x equals 8. So we have here a table that represents a quadratic function. So we need to find the value of y when x equals 8. So to answer this question, I'm going to create again a table. I'm going to copy the table. So my x is 2. Let me use the keyboard here. Next is 1. Now since we know that this is a curve of best fit, a quadratic function, it means that our regression equation should be of the form y ax squared plus bx plus c. So y sub of 1, subscript of 1, and then the regress symbol. Alright, so let me go back, click here, regress symbol, then a x subscript of 1 squared plus bx sub of 1, and then plus c, and this will give us the value of your a, b, and c. We need to find the value of what will be the value of y if x is equal to 8. So whenever we need to find the value of y, we need to type in the equation of the quadratic equation. So what I'm going to do is type in y. This time I'm going to use equal sign, and then my a is -3 x squared. Alright, so there should be no subscript. X squared. My b is -4, and then my c is -2. Alright, So we need to type in this equation using an equal sign and without any subscripts. Okay, the purpose for this is that we can generate a table based from this equation. So to generate a table, I'm going to copy this first, and then this can be converted into a table. Once we have a table that's based from this equation, we'll be able to figure out now the value of your y if x equals 8. So what you need to do is just replace one of the x's here, replace this by 8, and there you go. This should be the value of our y. So when you go back to the question, so if x equals 8, the value of your y should be equal to negative 226. Where's that? If x is 8, the y is negative 226. So the answer is letter E. Okay. Now, what if we have additional question? Let's say we would like to find the value of x this time. Okay. Predict the value of x if y is equal to negative 4. If x is missing, there's no way that we can use this table. So if you would like to try, let's replace the y value by negative 4. The keypad will not even show up. Now let me use my keyboard and type in negative 4 for my y. It's not even doing it. Negative 4. So there's no way that we can use a table if we are solving for x. I cannot just type in my y value here and then the table will give me the x value. So there's no way. So how do we find then the value of x if y is negative 4? So the best way to solve this is by tracing the graph. And the best way to trace the graph is by typing in the y equals negative 4, and this will produce a horizontal line. So where's my y equals negative 4? Let me move my graph. So this is my y equals negative 4. As you notice, the color of the line is black. If you want to change this into red, then here we go. This is your y equals negative 4. The purpose for this line, this horizontal line, y equals negative 4, is that it will be easier for us to trace our curve. So what is the value of x if y equals negative 4? So at this point, my y is equal to negative 4. And you will see that my x is negative 1.721. And then the other one, at this point, my y is also negative 4, and the value of x is 0.387. So we have two values of x when y equals negative 4. So what are these x's? The first x will be negative 1.721, negative 1.721, and the other one is 0.387. 0.387. So there we go. That's how we solve the value of x if y is given. But if the x is given and we need to solve the value of y, we need to create a table by typing our equation without using the regress symbol and without using the subscripts. Now the equation can be converted into a table. Once you have the table, replace the x by whatever given value of the x, and it will give us the value of your y. On the other hand, if you're solving for x and y is given, you have to trace the graph. Alright, let's have our last example. Which equation most closely represents the line of best fit for the data in this table? So in this question, we have here a line of best fit. It means that our equation, the regression equation, should be a line. it's of the form y equals mx plus b. Also, if you look at our options, all of our options are in the form of a line. So we know that the equation that we need to find should be a line. Alright, first I'm going to type in the table, create our table. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the y should be 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, and then 10. Alright, since I know that this is a line of best fit, my regression equation will be y sub of 1. I'm using the subscript of 1 here because in our table, the subscript that we have is 1. So y1. Let's have our regress symbol. This time it will be mx plus b. I'm going to use m, or any variable that you would like to use for your slope, but since we usually use m for slope, I'm going to use m. X sub of 1, and then plus the y-intercept, which is b. Alright, so in this case, I have here y equals, so let me just write the equation. It's y equals 1.257, so that's my m. Y equals 1.257. So usually the equation for line of a straight line is y equals mx plus b. We just need to replace the value of m and b by these values. So m is 1.257, m is 1.257, and then my b is 3.27. Alright, we just need to decide which is the correct answer. The slope that we have here is positive, so we can now cross out options B and D. Now we are deciding between A and option C. Now if you look at our slope, the slope is greater than 1. It means that in terms of your slope, your numerator should be bigger than your denominator. Therefore, our answer should be letter C. Now, if you would like to verify, we can actually divide our numerator by 5. 5 divided by 4, and we are going to get 1.25, which is close to the m that we got. Compared to your 4 divided by 5, 4 divided by 5, you are going to get 0.8. Alright, so the answer for this question is letter C. Alright, what if we need to find the value of y if x equals 20? Now remember, if we are solving for y, we need to use our table. So what we need to do here is to go back to our Desmos, type in our m, so y equals 1.25714 x plus b, which is 3.26667. Okay, and then from here we can copy this equation, convert this into a table, and then since we are solving for y if x equals 20, so if x equals 20, the y is equal to 28.41. So my y here will be 20.81. Alright, next, what if we would like to find the value of x if y equals 18? Now, if x is unknown, the best way to answer this question is by tracing the graph. So you can just trace the graph, locate your y equals 18. So I just have to look for my y equals 18, which is somewhere here. This my y equals 18. Alright, y equals 18. Okay, so that's the answer, 11.72. That's the x value. So the x value is 11.72. Alright, of course you will not have a hard time tracing your graph. You can just type in y equals 18. So y equals 18. This will produce a line, a horizontal line, that will help us easily find the value or the point on the line, and on this red line, wherein the y value is equal to 18. So 11.72. Alright, so very similar to the curve of best fit. If you are solving for y, you need to use a table. If you are solving for x, you have to trace your line.
Math is a wonderful thing. Math is a really cool thing.